Welcome to Sheer Pod Attack, a Queen song-by-song podcast. Today's song is Brighton Rock.
Hey, welcome to the show. I'm Stephen Nicholson.
And I'm Paul Nicholson.
We're brothers from Edinburgh, Scotland, and our favourite band is Queen. Thanks for joining us as we take a weekly look at the band's music by picking a song to critique in chronological order of release. Today, we're going along the promenade to Brighton Rock. Okay, before we hear some facts about the song, let's rate it. So, Paul, is Brighton Rock top, middle, or lower tier Queen for you?
Top tier.
And we'll talk in a moment why we have it top tier. But first, here's a question for you all out there in podcast land. What band in 1974 asked Brian May to leave Queen and join them? Was it Slade, Sweet, or The Sparks? Answer at the end of the show.
How does it feel at the end of a day like that? Do you like your job in an evening like that?
I love my job, but I hate talking to people like...
Okay, time for the facts, nothing but the facts. Paul, tell us a bit about Brighton Rock.
So Brighton Rock is the first track on side one of the band's third album, Sheer Heart Attack. The song was written by Brian May and produced by Roy Thomas Baker with sound engineer Mike Stone. The legendary solo in the song is even more astonishing given that Brian May had not long returned to the studio after being hospitalised after developing hepatitis. After the solo, the powerful rhythm section that re-enters and the band play a final verse and then end on a Jimi Hendrix chord. Brighton Rock opens with fairground music, linking it with the interlude ending of From I Do Like to Be Beside the Seaside at the end of the Seven Seas of Rhye, the album's predecessor. The solo parts can be traced back to a song called Blag, Brian May recorded with previous band Smile, and it's included on live versions of Son and Daughter.
Yeah. Okay, this little piece is from the Sheer Heart Attack album. It's Brighton Rock, and this uses probably my favourite pickup combination, which I use 85% of the time. These two pickups in phase, the bridge pickup and the centre pickup, and it's just hard enough and yet it's just warm enough and gives me a nice bit of sustain. So here's this one.
So, we've now reached the Sheer Heart Attack album, which is a treat because that is my favourite Queen album. So when did you first hear Brighton Rock?
The first version I heard of Brighton Rock would have been not this version, but the Live in Rio 85. So we saw the concert first. So it's totally different to this. Wasn't what we were expecting when you first listened to the album version. Yeah, so that would be it.
What do you think of the song?
It's a brilliant song. But also the balls as well to start off an album with a song that's got like a massive solo in it, and it just works. Even though you'd think, oh, you don't put that as the opening track, but actually it just works and just shows Brian May's genius, and also Freddie's vocals are like falsetto. But yeah, great, and really, really, when the band performed the song live, it was always one of the highlights of the show, and they did it. What about you?
Yeah, well, it was interesting, yeah, because obviously we heard it for the first time on the Rock in Rio video cassette from 1985. So it was interesting to hear the studio version. After that, obviously you bought the Sheer Heart Attack album, and I remember with Brighton Rock, I wasn't a big fan of the song when I was younger. I didn't get the point of the big instrumental section in the middle, and I thought it was indulgent. But yeah, I was young and stupid. I was wrong. It's a brilliant song, and as you've mentioned already, it's daring, even considering its structure and it being the opening track on the album. It's kind of gloriously chaotic. The band's coming out the gate hot here. There was a great use of the song in the movie Baby Driver.
That's right, yeah.
To soundtrack the main action sequence in that. I think Baby Driver came out, was it 2017, 2019? 2017, was it? Okay.
2017, I think.
So that was a surprise. And so, yeah, no, it was used exceptionally well in there. And I think some may find the track slightly self-indulgent, and maybe the lyrics, the narrative of it flimsy, the Jenny meets Jimmy. It's kind of more postcard than plot. But for those of us that like multi-tracked harmonies, delay experiments, and proto-metal phrasing, it's a gift from the lap of the gods. So yeah, great song. You got any favourite parts on it, Paul?
Quite like the end bit, actually. They're saying it ends on a Jimi Hendrix chord. I quite like the end bit, and they used that when they did Flick of the Wrist live. They used that to end the song. They put that little bit in there. So, I mean, there's so many bits, but I quite like the end bit. Quite cool.
Yeah, that is cool. I mean, there's lots of highlights on here, but I think my favourite is when the song comes out of the end of the first vocal section of it, about 90 seconds in, it kind of goes into this instrumental section, That bit's brilliant. The band sound like they're on fire there. So that's probably my favourite bit of the song. And the thing is, if you want to hear snippets of this, I think Brian May was basically playing it in his solo for years and years afterwards, wasn't he? During concerts.
Yeah, which isn't as endearing, really. You hear it all the time. But yeah, I remember in the 90s getting like a bootleg, Smile bootleg, and of course, a lot of this guitar solo was then in Smile, and then a lot of it was also in Son and Daughter, the original BBC version. So, and then they sort of mixed the two together when they did it live. But yeah.
Cool. And what do you prefer? Do you prefer the studio one or the live version of the full kind of live version of the song?
Probably the live version, because Freddie's vocals are they're not that falsetto, which I like, but I like the live version. I don't know, there's a good version live in Houston, 77. That's a good one.
Subscribe and follow us on social media.
Okay, earlier in the show we asked you what band in 1974 asked Brian May to leave Queen and join them, and the answer is, Paul?
Barks.
Which you can totally see, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
Even just based on This Town Ain't Big Enough for the Both of Us, you could see Brian May fitting in very well there with his sound.
We hope to see you again very soon. I hope you enjoy the film too.
Okay, well, we come to the end of this show, and next Friday we return for a show dedicated to the band's, I think it got to number 2, didn't it? Killer Queen?
Yeah, their first major hit, really. Like, major hit, yeah. First big hit.
Yeah, here in the UK. So yeah, classic Queen single next week in Killer Queen, which will be good to discuss.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us today, and until next week, keep being stone cold crazy.